Hey guys, got another review here. Got the Garmin Vivoactive 3 here with me. Now, this has been my kind of daily driver smartwatch slash fitness watch slash tracker, whatever you want to call it. I'm a real big buff on smartwatches. I've had different, Galaxy watches. Just recently had the Galaxy Watch Active 2 and really love that watch. But I'm currently using a OnePlus 7 Pro or 7T, excuse me. OnePlus 7T had the 7 Pro, but using a OnePlus 7T. So with it not being Samsung driven, I've been switching back and forth between a Samsung watch and then going to just a regular Android Wear watch, and just really didn't find anything that I really loved about any of them. But I always just kind of go back to Garmin just because, like I said, mainly I want to use it for the fitness capabilities of like heart rate monitoring and tracking my walks and runs, and also with the strength app, which I'll get into in a little bit. Really wanted something that was tracking my workouts a little more easily than how it was able to use on the Google watches, or excuse me, Android watch with Android Wear, or with the Samsung watches with Tizen. It's like I said, there's some pros and cons with all of those, but I just keep on finding myself to go back to Garmin. But anyways, wanted to kind of go over a few different basic things, kind of the initial structuring of the watch and kind of like what you see. And then as far as everything goes, just kind of the basic breakdowns, and then kind of a walkthrough of the watch itself. And then, and then like I said, just kind of give you my final verdict on if it's something y'all should buy or not. So with that being said, so this is just the standard Garmin Vivoactive 3. This is not the music edition. So as far as everything goes, it's the black finish, which I at one point did have the stainless steel bezel, but I really, really, really do like this black bezel. You can kind of see the engravings and stuff in there, just like the other one. But like I said, the black's just a real classic look, and just really love the look of it. Now, as far as the watch band goes, you are getting just a standard 20 millimeter watch band. I'm a fan of a little bit thicker watch band, but this one does just fine. This is just the standard one that came with it, so you kind of got the Garmin kind of branding there, and then like I said, nothing special on the bottom part of it, but real comfortable. I've used this for plenty of workouts, plenty of runs, and literally not had one issue. I do notice that the band does get a little stinky after a few weeks if you don't really like clean it, but they just kind of recommend just soap and water, which is fine. I mean, like I said, I've really cleaned the whole entire watch, and I haven't had any issues with any of that. Now, as far as everything goes, on the front, you just got the single button there for the controls, and then on the sides, you can see the ridge there. That'll give you kind of your swipe up, like kind of haptic feedback whenever it's just kind of a stroke or swipe on the side that you can go through the watch instead of just using with your finger. Now on the back, you got just the the connection there for the charging cradle, which is just the generic kind of standard go-to charging cable for a lot of the Garmin devices. And then of course it's just a standard type A or USB A that just goes into any kind of standard brick. But as far as that goes, there you can see the heart rate monitor right there. And like I said, very, 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 very simple replacement bands. Like I said, any standard 20 millimeter band will be able to go on here. So now, as far as it goes, it is turned off currently, but I'm going to turn it on real quick because I want y'all to be able to see like kind of how fast it does turn on. Now, I've used it for about 5 or 6 days in a row without charging it. So it's, I don't know, it's probably like at 40 or 30 or 40% right now. But as far as everything goes, it is a 1.2 inch diameter screen, which is one of those, direct kind of sunlight visible screens where, in direct sunlight is where the screen actually is going to shine, which I don't know if it'll really pick up in this video or not, but yeah, there you go. So you can kind of see, just how the color pops versus, in the normal light or just room temperature, but room light versus that direct sunlight. It just really, really stands out. So that's one thing I love about the watch, because it really does help with battery life and everything like that. Obviously the watch is waterproof. It's rated for swimming, everything. So, I literally have been in the pool, gym, showers, everything with this, and has not had one issue at all with the water. It is a Gorilla Glassing. Not really sure the rating of Gorilla Glassing, but don't have a screen protector or anything on it, and I haven't had any scratches or anything. It is a stainless steel bezel. Now, in true fashion for Garmin, just like any of my old Phoenixes that I've had, like the Phoenix 2 and Phoenix 3, they are scratch magnets. I have been very, very, very careful with this one and haven't scratched it, surprisingly, at all really yet. They do make these like different rubber cases and stuff. I wish they made some cooler ones like the Apple Watch, but unfortunately I have not come across any of those yet that are just really cool and stand out. They're just these like cheapy, like $5 or $8 for a 3-pack type thing on Amazon. And I've seen them on, and they don't look very good in my opinion. So maybe one day they'll come with like a rugged case or something that would look cool. But in the meantime, kind of just stuck with this. But either way, I love it regardless. I think the look, just like I said, is very classic. But it is a stainless steel bezel. The case is kind of like a reinforced polymer. So it's like a kind of a harder plastic, but does kind of look kind of cheapy a little bit, but at the same time, for what you're getting, it's not terrible, because I think right now, like at Best Buy, it's on sale for like $119, or like $119.99 or something like that. I remember around Christmas time, I was seeing a lot of places doing them for like $89.99 or $79.99, and then of course when I decided to buy it is when it went back up. But either way, yeah, the casing, everything is pretty decent. As far as the battery life goes, I've pretty much gotten about a week out of it, typically. I know they say with the battery life, if you're in GPS mode, you're, maybe straight, you're going to get about 13 hours is supposedly what they say. I haven't really tested that because I've kind of done both the smart mode and GPS mode at the same time. So, I'll use GPS, maybe do like a 45-minute run, and then then it'll just stay in smart mode connected to my watch via Bluetooth, or my phone via Bluetooth. And like I said, I've gotten probably about an average of about 7 to 8 days before I needed to fully charge it again, and then just hook it up overnight and you're good to go. Now, as far as all that goes, it does have GPS, GLONASS, however you pronounce it. I can never pronounce it. Garmin Elevate heart rate monitor, accelerometer, compass, you name it. It's got it all in it. As far as connectivity goes, it does have Bluetooth, and you can do ANT Plus, so you can hook, external or like a chest heart rate monitor for more accurate reading. Which, in my opinion, the heart rate monitor that does come with the watch standard isn't actually that terrible. I've used it with the chest, a heart rate chest strap, and it's maybe off sometimes if I'm doing like vigorous activities on a treadmill. It might be off like maybe 10 beats a minute. But other than that, I mean, the BPM is fairly accurate, at least from what I've seen. Now, as far as the different modes, if you kind of just click the button here, I kind of have it set up where it's just, that's kind of my, obviously I think that's how it is for everyone, but, run, treadmill, bike, indoor, golf, strength training, and then walking. So with the pandemic crap going on, I've been doing a lot of walking with the family. I got a 2, 3, and 5-year-old, and then a pregnant wife that we're expecting our 4th coming up here at the end of May. But anyways, a lot of walking lately, but the golf app is really nice. I tend to use a rangefinder a little more on the golf course now, but it is nice to kind of have it and look down. And then, like I said, treadmill. And I found that the treadmill is actually pretty accurate as far as using the accelerometer and the watch, because I don't hook it up to the treadmill, and it's pretty dang accurate. After a few times when I first initially used it, it asked me, hey, how long, or is this close? And then you can kind of update, if I ran, say, 2 miles, and then it said it was 2.5, I could have adjusted it at the initial start of using it, maybe the first 3 or 4 times, and it kind of like corrected itself. So it's never really been off big time, in my opinion. But like I said, as far as going into that, running has worked great. Granted, I'm inside my house, so I don't know how fast it'll take to connect to the GPS, but when I'm outside, I mean, it connects fairly quickly, and it's very accurate. I mean, I've even ran around the block a bunch of times and saw how fast, or how many times it would take to get to a mile, and then I drove around it in my car, and it was pretty dang close. Now, as far as I'm not gonna start a run here. I'm just gonna get out of that real quick and just done and discard it because I don't want to save that. So the other app that's on here that I really like is the strength training app. Dang it, did I do that on accident? Okay, no, that is right. So with the strength training app, the thing I really like about it is you just kind of go and it'll start auto counting your reps. I think it says like after you start like 7 or 8. But I'll tend to double check it every time after I do it. So it's kind of counterproductive a little bit because I might do like some dumbbells or something like that, and I'll, end up doing, let me get out the light here. I might end up doing, 3 sets of 10 or something like that. And, the nice thing I like about it is, like, say, for example, I push the button, it'll show that right there, but you can pause it, you can start it back up, and it'll show your rest there, and you double tap. Okay. There we go. So double tap it, and it'll take you to your next set. So let's say I'm done, then I'll double tap. Okay. Well, why is it doing this? As you can see, I haven't really used the workout feature in a few weeks because I've been able to go to the gym. But apparently I forgot how to use it. So it's kind of embarrassing, but hey, everything's live and I don't want to just edit it and all that stuff. But I don't know, that's the golf course one there. So should have probably messed with a little bit more before I started. So let's say you do my reps. So double tap the screen to advance. So I'm going to kind of just mimic 10 curls real quick. And let me see what it'll do here. See, so right there, it kind of didn't register right because I was kind of doing it weird. But shows there 6 reps. So then basically you double tap And then what you can do is edit it. And this is the thing I like about the edit feature, is I can edit the reps. So if it doesn't count it right, I can do 10, then hit enter, or the check mark, and then I can enter the weight. So let's say I did 40 pounds. So I do 40, and then when you don't move, it'll go back, it'll go into the rest, so it'll start counting down my rest. And so then I can kind of double check to see, like, okay, I've been resting after that first set, it's been 40 seconds. So then you double tap the screen and it'll go to set 2. And then boom, you're good to go. So that was a horrible kind of showing off of what it is. But whenever you're done, you just kind of hit the pause button there, push done. Going to discard it because I don't want it to save in my Garmin Connect, because that's definitely going to mess up everything there. But the cool thing about it is about a minute after you're done with it, what it'll do is on your Garmin Connect, it'll have it ready for you to view kind of your workout. And it'll give you a list. It'll show you your duration of how long you worked out, kind of your average heart rate per minute, sorry, having a brain fart here, how many calories you burned. And then the other nice thing about it is you can go in and edit the activities. So that way, let's say, for example, like on the tricep machine, that's kind of like curls, but it's like a reverse tricep kind of curl. There's not really a workout feature, or there's not a workout title under Garmin Connect that I've found that's exactly for that machine. So I'll kind of edit it so I know that that's what it was for, but I can go in and edit the names. So like if you're doing sit-ups, for example, it might not get that it was a sit-up. It might go off of how the movement of your hand or wrist was, and it might think it's a different workout. So you can go in there and edit that. So I really like that feature. And the reason why I like the Strength app on Garmin over the fitness tracking or whatever on the Samsung watches and on the Android Wear watches is with Android Wear, it does do automatic tracking, but it's horrible. Like, it's off all the time. I've always had to kind of decipher what it was. I really couldn't figure out how to edit the workout, so I knew what workout it was saying. And then with the Samsung watch, the only thing that I didn't like about that one is I had to start the workout every time before I did the workout. So let's say I wanted to do just dumbbell curls. I had to literally find curls on the pictures, which the pictures are really nice. I mean, it shows like a guy sitting on a bench, like curls or doing curls. So you kind of know, okay, that's curls. Click it. And then it starts as soon as it recognizes that you started the movement. But it's just kind of a pain in the butt because I don't want to have to do that every time before I start a workout. Because with the newer ones, there's no automatic fitness tracking like that. And plus, the other thing I didn't like about the Galaxy Watch or the Galaxy Watch Active 2 that I had is if I was on a treadmill, there was no tracking for the treadmill. Even though I knew it might have been off a little bit, it was still just something that was nice to have as a feature, like on a Garmin or even on like an Android Wear watch. But for some reason on those nicer Samsung watches, now maybe with some updates later down the road, they'll maybe add it. For all I know, they might have added it in the last like 7 months since I used the Active 2. But at the end of the day, when I am able to go back to the gym, I do prefer I prefer to run on a treadmill versus running outside. And like I said, it is nice to be able to have that feature where it kind of helps me track it instead of me having to write it down and everything like that. So, and then I kind of show the swipe up button and stuff. It can kind of see here when I do it. So there's like a few, elevation, like step counter or whatever. Haven't worn it in the last 4 hours, so music, my phone needs to be connected. Which I do like the part on here though, like so if it is connected with Bluetooth, I can still control pretty much everything on my watch from my watch for my phone. I can control volume, I can control play pause, and I can skip and go back on tracks. I don't think I can fast forward on tracks. I kind of slipped my memory from that, but I'm pretty positive I can't. But it is nice to be able to control that from the watch. Which for me, I found that it's pretty nice if I leave my phone, like after I'm working out, I'll go in the sauna, and my locker from the sauna at the gym that I go to is maybe about 50 feet or so from my locker to the sauna. So sometimes I'll just leave my phone after I'm done working out in the locker, and because my phone will overheat pretty quickly inside of the sauna. But with the watch, I've never had any issues with the heat in the sauna, so I can kind of control my phone and still have my wireless Bluetooth headphones in, and still be able to enjoy the music via Bluetooth, but not having my phone in my pocket as long as it's within range. So with that, that's kind of cool. So going back, let's see, music, notifications. Obviously, you can read them. You really can't reply back to anything, but you can at least just get notifications. Obviously, I don't have my Bluetooth hooked up, but it would show like the weather and everything local. And then the last sport here, like for example, I kind of did a run/walk with one of my kids, and we did 2.7 miles in 33 minutes, but it'll kind of show you the pace and all that. So yeah, and then step counter and my day or whatever, which like I said, I haven't worn it really in the last like 24 hours, but either way, man, I mean, I would highly recommend the watch. For the money, you really can't beat it. I like it a little better than the Fenix 3, just due to the fact that it's touch screen, it's a little bit smaller, which I'm a big fan of big watches in general, but I don't know, just the screen I think is bigger on this than the Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken, or if it's not, it sure does seem like it. Just seems like I have a little more space to play with, but don't quote me on that. But then also, I don't know, I just think the look is just clean and classic and kind of go with anything. And the watch bands are easily interchangeable, which like I said, I know I can switch them out on the Phoenix 3, but I don't know, I just really enjoy this watch over the Phoenix 3. Now, once I get my hands on like a Phoenix 5 or something like that, my tune might change, but I do like the touch screen. It is very responsive. So at the end of the day, I think it's a great watch. I would highly recommend it. And if you're like me, I'm a big bargain hunter. If you go on Facebook or OfferUp, I'm finding people selling these things for sometimes 40 or 50 bucks sometimes. Sometimes people are very proud of it, and they might be trying to just sell the watch by itself without the box for, $100 or $100 or $110 when you can literally go buy it brand new for 10 or 15 more dollars. But like I said, if you hunt around quite a bit, you can get some really, really, really good deals on these. Matter of fact, someone was selling a white one on some running website. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but it was right after Christmas. But they were selling the white one for $49.99 brand new on an actual like legit website, not some wish.com or one of those from overseas or China where you're going to get it in like 3 months or something. So but like I said, for the money, especially if you can get it cheaper, go for it. Buy it used. I'm always a big fan of buying used stuff, but like I said, it's a damn good watch. I highly would recommend it, and I would appreciate any feedback. I'm sorry for the super long video, but I wanted to squeeze everything in that I could and went a lot further than I anticipated. So hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate any feedback or comments, and hope you all have a blessed day. Thanks, guys.